Hello and welcome to another episode of Boldly Going. It is I, Merlin, sometimes known as Joe, and I have the film fanatics here with me. I have Dan over here.
Hello.
And Justin over there.
Howdy.
And today we're going to go back to DS9, and we're going to talk about the Vortex, in which we finally delve into some of Odo's backstory, possibly. And I realized that we had double for Justin leading, so Dan, give me some synopsis and your thoughts.
Okay, so yeah, this episode is called The Vortex, and in the first scene we have a business transaction with Quark, in which a thief named Croden is taken into custody by Odo for some misdealings, and his twin vows revenge. So Croden is, locked up and tells Odo that, I've met another shapeshifter. My planet used to be full of them, and they were driven off. And Odo's like, well, I never met one. So it obviously piques his interest, but this dude is a known liar, so he's not really feeling it. But then he shows him this necklace that changes shape, and so Odo's like, oh, maybe we got something to this. This episode is interesting because it was kind of cool to hear about Odo and the backstory and everything that goes with that, especially because we didn't see a lot of Odo in the last episode, which we all really liked, the one about the Negus. And we even commented that Odo wasn't really in it a whole lot. And he is a great character. But I was kind of bored watching this. So I can't give it a super high grade for that. But I did think it was interesting. Maybe it just wasn't
a good enough story?
Maybe it just wasn't written that well. I liked hearing about the stuff. And I thought this character was, all right.
Yeah.
But we see so many of these Croden-type characters.
He pops up in Next Gen all the time.
Oh, does he?
This type of character.
Yeah.
Stray criminal guy.
Right,
they have to transport somewhere.
Gray area sort of.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What are we going to do? That's a very standard Next Gen idea that you could tell was just left over.
And maybe that's why I was bored with it.
It's a pretty standard type of plot, honestly.
It's definitely a mixed bag. I like that we watched it because I liked hearing the Odo stuff. But really, he's about the only one in this whole episode.
It's kind of an Odo episode,
It's Odo, Quark's there a little bit, Brooks is there a little bit, but it's kind of about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was alright. I'd give it a B-.
Okay. Justine?
This is an episode that I sort of had different reactions from the beginning, the middle, and the end.
Okay.
So at the start, I was thinking, oh dear, another Quark-centric episode.
What? Oh, come on. What's wrong with that?
What?
That's blasphemy. Blasphemy.
I mean, we just had 19 episodes about Quark. It's enough with...
Because
and they were all great.
Because they're always good.
Quark. It's okay.
They're always good.
Let's get back to O'Brien. Let's get back to some of these other people that are kind of important too. Quark's great. 19 episodes back to back to back to back to back about Quark.
Quark always has to get his lines into every episode. Even if the episode has nothing to do with them, there will be a scene or two at the bar where Quark has to get his lines in.
I mean, he's a fun character, but enough is enough.
Oh, no. I'm sensing...
He can take 5.
So on the list goes Q, Quark, all the Qs.
Oh, he's not even close to Q, but...
You like Neelix?
Neelix is a little annoying, honestly.
Varies from writer to writer, apparently, but I digress.
Okay.
But no, once we start getting to the meat of this episode, introducing this character, seeing how he relates to Odo, and we're starting to actually get character development with Odo, and starting to see his deeper complexity, I thought it was really interesting. The bigger aspects with the tension going on this whole perilous mission, when it sort of dissolves into a two-man show, I was actually kind of on board. I haven't seen this trope yet. Obviously, you two are the far more experienced Trek fans than me. Excuse me. Pardon my English.
It's okay.
But I thought that was fairly engaging. I liked the way it tied up. It was a little bit fluffy, but it showed a lot more about the person Odo actually is. That yes, he can be very by the book, but there is some leeway.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting, sort of in the same way we look at Tuvok in Voyager. Obviously, nowhere near as compelling a character, but
Dan's least favorite.
I hate him so much,
and not because he's black.
No.
You see, I'm just saying, people would bring it up he hates the black Vulcan. Oh, no.
I just hate that his name's Tuvok. It's so obnoxious.
Well, 93, Tupac. I mean, I don't know. I thought, it's the word. Star Trek's got to be cool, man.
It sucked.
Star Trek gets hip. No.
Oh no. Yeah.
But no, I thought this was a fun episode. It was a very engaging episode. I thought the villain was exceptionally weak, but I like the interplay with particularly when we finally get to the other races and sort of seeing that this is not just one single race kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was fairly entertained. I live with a B.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'm a little more with Dan on this one. I think it's a decent episode. I think it's good for finally establishing some things about Odo a little bit as a character, a little more, hinting a little bit more about his backstory. But I do agree that I don't really like the villain that much. He's okay.
Generic.
He's very generic.
Yeah.
That means he works.
Insert villain X here.
Yeah. We've seen it done before
Yeah.
in and out of Trek many times. You kind of know where it's going. But yeah, there are some things we finally get to learn a little bit about Odo, establishing some early stuff with his character, which is good. Quark at the beginning, does have that good exchange, which is a kind of a good segue.
I thought it was a good opener.
Into Odo's. I think it worked. So it was an interesting one for that. But it's kind of one of those things where comparatively I look at DS9 as a whole and just some of those later seasons and how far the Odo stuff really goes. It's like there's much better Odo stuff and just DS9 stuff in general. This is a B- for me. It's pretty good, but there's much better.
I wouldn't say
I'm
it's
sure.
pretty good.
It's decent.
It's average.
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
it's all right.
Yeah. I just think that's interesting. That is an interesting description. It's an interesting episode, but you were bored by it.
It's an interestingly themed episode, I guess you could say.
That's fair.
Cool. Odo's backstory. Oh, it's, through this very generic and yawn-worthy villain.
Yeah. Who
You
also
know?
had
It's like also that weird TNG episode we watched where they sort of just had some weird sort of virus thing going on that might as well have been called expository.
Yeah. We'll say,
Yeah.
too,
Device here.
it's a minor thing for the villain, too, but you guys might even notice that even for Trek, his makeup wasn't very good.
No,
Like,
it really
Oh,
wasn't.
that's I didn't notice that, but you're right.
Like, if you look at the mask, which the application, it looked like it wasn't even fully on correctly. Like, even the brothers had better, initially had better ones. So, I think even for makeup, you compare it to somebody who's a steady cast member, like a Ferengi or a Klingon,
Yeah.
just much better. But, yeah, that's got to wrap it up for this one, guys. So tell us your comments if you want to on this episode. And we got Voyager coming up next. And
Yes.
So much more Tuvok.
still no more Enterprise, though. But, maybe we'll do an animated episode sometime.
You never know.
I don't know.
Possible.
Be cool. We get to see some Spock backstory stuff.
You know who my least favorite is?
In all of Star Trek?
In all of the regular characters. Now, Justin, we know, is Wesley Crusher.
Okay.
Clear.
Or Q.
God.
Yeah, I guess if you want to count him as a regular.
But he,
I mean, a
recurring.
credit,
Okay.
a credit
He's
character.
recurring
That's
character.
fair. That's
Yeah. Your least favorite of the main cast?
Yeah, from the 4 shows that we watch.
It's not Tuvok. That's not legitimate, right?
No.
Okay.
But you're on the right track with the series, at least.
Oh, it is Voyager?
Yeah.
Is it? Wait, hold on a minute.
Chakotay.
Oh, Chakotay.
That would be one, but actually, at least Chakotay serves a purpose.
Is it Neelix?
Harry Kim.
Harry Kim.
For Harry Kim.
He's your least favorite.
He's so pointless.
He's there to get. He's the living red shirt. He's there to
Yes.
get screwed over every episode.
Yes, he
I
is.
mean, I'd probably give it to Paris, to be honest with you. Just like boring, generic rebel pilot turned Federation. But
He's pretty annoying, but at least, he adds some stuff once in a while.
Harry Kim adds nothing.
I think his plight's kind of humorous. Because he's so bad.
why can't he have nice things?
I mean, come on.
Harry Kim does suck.
He sucks.
Everyone knows Harry sucks.
Yeah. What's yours?
My least favorite of any of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's quite the tangent.
Well, Neelix is annoying, but I've always kind of liked him a little bit. Honestly, of the 4 we watch, I mean, I go very back and forth with Mr. Jake. Mr. Jake
Okay.
Sisko.
That's all right.
And only
I can
because
accept that.
there is like a season finale where he makes this one decision that's very dumb.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Well, I'm not a huge fan.
Only because he's not in the show, though.
Correct.
Which is
If he showed up, maybe he would have something to do. I loved that last episode.
Yeah.
And he was pretty heavy in that. That's interesting. All right.
Okay.
Jake sucks.
Yeah, and well, to be honest, a lot of them are useless. Like Deanna, is completely useless.
Deanna is terrible.
But she means well, so I like her.
Probably bottom 3 for me.
Like, she gets into that uniform somehow every episode, which is impressive. You know, I the big onesie. I like
true,
that, you know?
true.
It's impressive.
You went there.
Hey, I'm willing to say it. It's fine, but no. So, well, honestly, my hatred for a lot of the characters goes back and forth.
Okay.
Like,
well, yeah, I guess depending on the season or the episode.
Like, I mean, if we were
Good
to
point.
be completely honest, I mean, I don't really like half the cast of Enterprise, honestly.
Okay.
So if that's
we
that's,
weren't counting that because we don't
like,
watch it.
like that's
but-
your legitimate answer.
Yeah.
Is probably someone from there.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the show, guys. Say goodbye.
All right, see ya.
Till the next time.